right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Tech Hondo. Let me see if everything is going well here. You should be able to hear me. Welcome from my living room. It is a little bit of a different situation going on today because we're using a totally different setup. Now, some of you have been already here and they already know that I've tried it before, but today was a day that I really needed to use this setup, basically really because the heat. Right. I did see some comments already about the weather, so I will definitely going to talk about the weather just in just a bit. But before I do that, well, maybe we can talk about the weather while we go through the people that are actually in the house. First and foremost, I see Shane and Hannah Holland. They say, hey, what's going on? And of course, MT was also one of the first one to arrive, which was really cool to see you again. Now, I did not schedule this one before because basically I didn't know how to do it yet on the Yolobox. We're going to talk about that definitely. But indeed, greetings to everyone, and that's exactly what I also want to say to you. Greetings, really appreciate you for being here. Of course, also to Veal, welcome, good of you to come all the way from Finland. Yeah, MT says indeed, I'm a bit disappointed there. No, not really. You just beat me for a few seconds. I think that is true. It was really close. So yeah, great. Phil says, let's say typo sunny means mostly sunny and little rain, and indeed. So I think that the whole of Europe is heating up at the moment. Not only here in the Netherlands where I live, but also across Finland, Germany, France, Italy, the whole European continent is quite heating up. Even in the UK, believe it or not, we see record temperatures. Last Tuesday we had 40 degrees Celsius here in the place where I live. 40 degrees. That's about 100 Fahrenheit. So that's quite hot. If you think about it, that a lot of people do not have air conditioning over here. Yes, it's coming. It's more and more people are actively purchasing one. I have one right in the studio. Hence, I cannot be there at the moment because it was way too much extra fan noises and that kind of stuff, which I don't want to hurt your ears with that. This is a new setup. Before I go into it, this is a new setup, so it might not be 100% perfect. I'm still trying to iron out the setup at the moment. I think that I have the audio better down than about a week ago. Even though I do hear not now, but during my setup earlier today, I do still have this hissing noise, but it's very far away. So I hope that it is okay for you. Let us be awkward today. Yes, indeed. Let's do that. Let me see. A lot of people are talking about 35 degrees Celsius. DJ Ware 38 Celsius here today, but that's normal for us in the summer. Hi Tech Hondo, NMT, etc., etc. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you for tuning in. We have some burning days last week, about 40 degrees indeed. Way too hot, right? Welcome, Olympus Nat from Greece, great country. Cool of you to be here. And also, Niels is in the house. Looks and sounds great, he says. Okay, that's really cool to hear. That's what I hoped it would be, but it's also the case. Yay! Audio, video are great. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate that. And a lot of people are just talking into each other, which I love a lot. Roberts is also in the house. Nice. June, Goodland, Jury, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people that you are actively connected to, which is really cool. Carrioling Technologies. Hey Petra, it's been a while. I usually I'm out on Saturday and missed your stream. That's okay. It's just the way it goes. The beauty of YouTube is that it doesn't matter if you see me live or after the fact. hopefully you will still get some content. Now, of course, when you're not live, you miss the interaction, but know that I am actually effectively watching your comments, making sure that I'm either answering them at that time or picking them up for a future related video, which I really appreciate. So please go ahead and do that all the time. By the way, Scooter is right there, so I hope that he will jump in, but I don't have the possibility to flip the camera easily at the moment. Bill is all the way from Chicago, USA. Welcome everyone. And indeed, Caroline is from Bristol, Connecticut in the US of A. Sonoga, hello from Organa. Welcome from there. Really cool to be that you're here. And somebody says hi. Ahmed, I believe that your name is. If not, please let me know how to pronounce it. Yep, that's about it. A lot of weather talk. Let's go ahead. Let's start to talk about the nitty-gritty of today. I got actually 4 topics to talk about. I will talk about the one that is very important, and is also the reasoning maybe that it's a little bit of a ad hoc stream, so to speak. Last Tuesday, my dad got really ill and had to go to the hospital. He was on the ICU for 2 days. He's currently doing quite well. He's still in the hospital. He will definitely be in the hospital for the next coming days. Still recovering from a nasty health issue. But that nasty health issue has been solved, which is great. So the doctors they have done a great job. But of course, being very close to, unfortunately, death, he of course he has a long way back to recovery. So it will definitely take a few additional days before we can say hi to him again. He is doing quite well, I have to tell you, but you can imagine it's a little bit of an awkward week. So that may be a bit of a reason why this is a bit of a different stream. That being said, let's talk about the real content. So the real content is that I want to talk to you about this new setup that I have in front of me, based on the Yolobox, why I'm using it, what are my use cases. This is going to be very quickly. There will be separate videos on it, but I thought to use this Q&A session for July to have this one in there so that people can already start to think about what their use cases are. We can also talk a little bit about this DJI mic that I have right in front of me. Oh, now we're around. There you go, DJI. So we're going to talk about that also a little bit, and of course the new ATEM SDIs. So those are the 3 things that I have prepared for you guys. So I hope that you have a nice video. Of course, if you have any questions, please go ahead and pop them into the chat. I will be scanning through it on the Yolobox, which is really cool. Let me see if I can. Oh, and that's very nice of you to say, Niels. Get well soon, Pete. Yeah, really cool that you say that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, he is definitely going to get better. Today he was already talking about walking around, but it was very much a lot of effort for him at the moment. So he has to, let's say, use a chair to move again. But I'm pretty sure that in a week or 2 it's going to be way better than it is at the moment. But it was quite a shock, and I'm not going to tell you what happened because it's very graphical. Thanks. I will definitely pass it along, DJ Ware. I will see him tomorrow again. So, Caroline, so sorry to hear from your dad. Glad that he's on the mend. Lost my dad tomorrow. Okay, Caroline, sorry, man. That's terrible. That's terrible. I lost my mom about 5 years ago. It's really tough to lose one of your parents. So my heart goes out to you. Really tough times. Thank you, Robert. So we'll definitely pass it along. Indeed, there's a slight test in the audio. Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, so I know that there's a slight hiss. I've tried to mimic that a little bit by playing along with the volumes, but it's not perfect yet. So maybe I will ask other people that are having the same setup as I have to figure that out. So for some reason, and it can also be because it's really close to the Yolobox at the moment, and because it's quite hot. It's 26.5 Celsius here in my living room, so the fans on the Yolobox are actually working at the moment. Okay, first question of the day. Let's talk about that first one, and then we can move on to the other one. About IBC, mean a registration for entrance only for one day and or several days. Good question, MT. In my opinion, my humble opinion, if you really are into a lot of different topics, then have at least 2 days. However, if you're only interested in, for example, live streaming gear in general, and not so much in cameras and OB vents and that kind of stuff, then you can put it into 1 day. But then you need to be very focused on what you want. I will be there for all days, so you will see me at the vMix booth or roaming around. So let's try to hook up. But it's really cool. I've been there. I think, of course, with the exception of 2020 and 2020 and 2021. I've been there like every year for like 6 or 7 years in a row. So it was, yeah, I really like it. But I would definitely go for 1 day, but maybe for 2 days, especially if you also want to include cameras, then go for 2 days. Another question, maybe. I have a Blackmagic, Mini Streams, Extremes ISO. I would like to have an animation back page. How should I get it legally? It's a little bit of a lot of sorry, trying to figure out your your English, but I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, so you would like to have a picture-in-picture with on the back end a moving animation. That's what I've seen. The first thing is that if you really want to have a picture-in-picture with a moving backdrop, that is roughly like, let me create one on top. Let me wait for it. I'm doing this live. Oh, go away. That one. Let me see. Yeah, that. So maybe this and this, and then I want to have a backdrop image like this. All right, done. So now, for example, you want to have this, but down with the backdrop, not steady like on this shot, but more animated. Well, that is really quite easy to do if you have a ATEM Extreme, because then you can use Super Source for it, and that is really easy to do. However, you can also do it with the flying effects a little bit, but it gets a little bit on the smaller ATEM minis. It gets a little bit more troublesome to make that happen. I don't have an ATEM at the moment on this setup, as you can see right here, but I'm sure to talk about that in a later video. I will do that. But I need to know exactly which model that you're using. Is that because that's not clear to me? Is it the ATEM Mini, or is it the ATEM Mini Pro, Pro ISO, Extreme ISO, or the new ones, which will come in just a minute. We'll talk about IBC at a later stage. Oh, that's really cool that you're following me and would like to thank me. Thanks a lot. But also thanks to the full community, because without the community we would not have this, right? So it's literally give and take for everybody. I'm also learning from you guys, so please go ahead, and if you say, hey Petra, you can do that way easier, just tell me. I mean, we're all in it together on this one. Aha. Okay, so what am I talking about? That's a good one. So all right, yeah, NBC indeed. All right. So talking about the moving backdrop, I can make a video on that. Maybe talk about that. We can have a ATEM Mini related stream and really go through the whole process again from A to Z to really talk about all the functionalities that are in there. Of course, I know that Photo Joseph has done that before. I know that Aaron Parecki has done that also, but maybe I can do that also, so that you have like 3 people to learn from, and then pick your own things that you really want to do. Maybe that's a good idea. Okay, so that was the first one that we would talk about. So IBC, and now also that moving backdrop. The third thing that I wanted to talk about is the announcement that Blackmagic did, and that is this one right here. So here you go. So this is the ATEM SDI. By the way, I really love this car. This car, believe it or not, is the same car as I own myself. It is a red Fiat 500e red edition, and they are using that in their marketing material, which is really awesome in my opinion. But this is basically the same form factor, the same setup as the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, or the ATEM Mini Pro ISO, or the ATEM Mini, but then with SDIs instead of HDMI. So if I go down a little bit, so this is what the Pro ISO model looks like. So you see 4 inputs, and not 1 but 2 outputs, where one of them you can use for the multi-view, and the other one you can use for any other purposes that you'd like. So you want to pass through maybe a camera or whatever. But this is really a very nice addition to the mix. It's not called ATEM Mini Pro ISO, it's called ATEM SDI Pro, which is a little bit of a different naming convention, but I believe it's quite okay. Hey, Scooter, no. Do you want to be on the camera? Do you want to be on camera? Here, let me show you that you are on camera. There you go. Let me go to this screen right there. Meet Scooter. He is quite a handful, and this is what he looks like. There you go. He's a beautiful cat. So let's go. All right, let's go back to this slide. By the way, I'm not using any computer for this stream. This is my phone, all on purpose, because I could have easily also used my iPad for this, but I wanted to really minimize everything that I'm doing. And if I go down, then basically it's all the same as the HDMI version. Here you have the back of it. Again, 4 inputs, 2 outputs, but also 8 inputs. And was it 4 outputs or 2 outputs? No, 4 outputs, I believe, right? I'm not sure about that one anymore. But I'll figure that out just in just a minute. But here you have the ATEM SDI Extreme ISO, the ATEM SDI, and the ATEM SDI Pro ISO, and basically they're the same models, but all are ISO with the exception of the lowest end model, because, well, they just want to make sure that that people can effectively purchase one without banging their wallet, right? So if I go down, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, of course, with SDI comes that you have the SDI control possibilities. That is really stellar and really great to do. Granted, you can also do that on HDMI models as well. especially if you use Blackmagic products, but you do need to have APC enabled on that cable. So that is a way to get that. And I'm still looking into if the SDI model, let's go to the technical spec, or technical specs I mean, and check if the ISO model, how many outputs it has. I believe, if I look at it, it has 4 outputs. Am I mistaken or not? No, yeah, I'm totally right. See, 4 outputs. So you have really a possibility to have multiple AUXes on that system right there, which is a fantastic setup, but SDI only, which can be a deal breaker for some of you. So let's talk about that. Maybe you have some additional information about that. Hey Roto, welcome, welcome. Welcome all the way from Australia. Question of understanding, Roto, is that the Maori name or what is that? Anyway, MT says, I was so surprised. I had the luck to see the live stream and grad shown to the new line. Yes. I also saw the live stream, but not live. I saw it after the fact. But I was pretty much blown away, but also a little bit like, do I still want this? Do I still need that? Because I do already have the ATEM Mini. I already have the ATEM Mini Pro. I already have the Extreme ISO. And I have the new Constellation 2 HD. And you're like, well, Petra, to me, I mean, why do you need so much switchers? Well, 2 of them I can just say, oh, there's 2 small ones I use for very dedicated products, and also to bring in output of a mixer into a laptop. Those are very good converters for that. So I will definitely always have more than one of these. So maybe I will buy a third one, who knows. But the Extreme model is really, really cool, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that, especially because of the Constellation HD, which I also own, and I'm really happy with. So I don't know, but I was definitely surprised about that. How is your phone connected to the Yolobox? Well, very simple, with a cable. So I'm actually using a dongle for it, as you can see. Let me remove your comment. So just a simple cable to an HDMI cable, and that's it. That's as simple as it could be. So and it works like a charm. Ahmed says my device is a Blackmagic Mini Extreme ISO. Is it possible to communicate with you through email? No. I will talk about. Actually, I think that I already have a video on it. To be honest, but I can tell you now how you can do that on top of my head. So with the Extreme ISO, you can, for example, use the input 8. But that's basically what I always do. I will always use from back to front all of the all the way in the back, like channel 7 and channel 8. Those are really graphics. Then channel 6 and 5, for example, are laptops where I bring in guests or that kind of stuff. And then all the others, the earlier numbers, 1 to 4 or something, those are all cameras. That's the way that I structure it. Now, for what you want to do, that can be just a video. So that can be either playing on a hyperdeck, or it can be playing on a computer, or even my suggestion would be a Raspberry Pi that you just play the video, and that's a Playout B, for example, is a application that you could install on a Raspberry Pi, and you can just run that on channel 8, use that as a backdrop, and then use the SuperSource technology to add 2 boxes, for example, one box with the I don't know, the output of the presentation, or maybe a guest that you want to interview, and the other one is for you or your host, and that will work. So you can use the SuperSource for that. So, and it's, I believe, and this is on top of my head because I don't have the ATEM software running at the moment, but I think it's called Art. So if you go into the Super Source tab, you will see also a Art tab, and that's where you can say that you, for example, use Channel 8 for that. So that's what I would do. Welcome all the way from Germany. Welcome Orbital. Cool of you to be here. Computer Jantje says one or two I use for longer HDMI cables, as these are more forgiving on low channels. 3 and 4 for SDI converters, and yes, 7 and 8 for graphics. Well, typically the same setup roughly, and that's a good one to talk about those long cables. So I should have told that as well, and it's good call there. Thanks. I agree. The signal of the first channels are better, especially channel 1, because that's really the one that will set, so to speak, the parameters of your program out. So that is the way that I would do it. That's all about the ATEM models. I think that I might be tempted to purchase one, but it's not going to be anytime soon because I did purchase some cool stuff recently, and there will be some videos on that topic as well. And we will be talking about plans for this last half year of 2022 and early 2023, about what the plans are for this show, what we will be focusing on. For example, still need to build out my 19-inch rack, but I'm still debating on what I want to do, so I will walk you through that process. I'm actually even considering to next year purchase a trailer, so that we can build a trailer for production work. I know that MT wants to help me with that, so that would be cool to do that. I think that I have all of the equipment already, so it's just a matter of figuring out how to fit it in a very small trailer, because I cannot carry a big trailer with my license, but also with my car. So maybe that is something that will come, not this year, definitely not this year anymore. But this year we will definitely talk about this Yolobox. So I'm using it for the first time, literally today, as a means for a show. And we're definitely going to use it for IBC 2022, where I will be streaming mainly, maybe on a daily basis, but at least 2 or 3 times. To talk about what is happening on the floor. I'm not going to live stream directly from the floor. That is something that I really cannot do. I'm going to tell you why. I have done it before. I've done it 3 times, and 3 times it didn't work out. And the last time, believe it or not, I was still helping out LiveView as a trainer for their videos. So I actually had possession of a LU600 with about 6 or 8 signals going into that box, and still it was very troublesome. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to record it on the floor, but I will record it as raw as possible, as live as possible, and then we're going to use that in the evening from the hotel, where I will talk to you about what I've done that day, and also show you around what is going on. So those are the plans for IBC 2022. And of course, if I see people like John or MT or whoever is coming, maybe we can do some collabs and really talk about things that we see. Let's check what we can do. Sportia, welcome all the way from Arizona. Really appreciate you for taking the time on this Saturday morning. I think it's morning for you. Nah, it's in the afternoon for you. Orbital says, which SDI converters would you recommend? Blackmagic or No Name? I actually use 2 of them, but I have... let me think. I have, most of them are Blackmagic because they're way cheapest and they're doing a great job. So I definitely would first recommend those. I also looking at the price. But before I did that, I also had from another brand. I'm trying to Atomos, right? Atomos. Those are, I also have two of those from Atomos, and those are arguably better in the sense that they have a lot of functionality that, but these are old ones. These are really old converters, but they could be battery powered. They could be even just plain AC, and as a backup go to a battery, which was great. You could also set the output to a test signal so that you could definitely check if you had signal from that point. So you had a little bit more of things to look at. So Blackmagic one, but there are multiple others as well. But I would say Blackmagic, to be honest. Okay, Jolene, thank you so much for the $5. Really appreciate you for the super chat. Excellent, thanks a lot. And as always, super chats go directly in the let's say jar, so that once in a while I can purchase something from you, and that's of course something that I can utilize in my streams to talk about and to even further improve their quality. On the price point, are the Blackmagic great? Decimator are more pricey. No name, you can have more some luck. Couldn't have not said it better than that, to be honest. Decimator, I forgot about those, but those are really, really great. And if you have the HXMD or MDHX, I always forget. But there's this converter that also has a frame rate converter as well, and that is absolutely stunning, very good quality. I'm gonna check it out because I need to make sure that I point you to the correct one. But it is definitely one that I would recommend as your Swiss Army knife, because it's extremely good. Decimator, the MDHX, is it? Yeah, the MDHX. That's the one that I would recommend. Go away, go away. All right. Neil says, is that your car on the ATEM SDI product page? Yes, it is the same car. So literally the same. It's not my car, but it's exactly 100% the same brand, same model, same color, same year, everything the same, apart from it's not my car. But it's really cool. I can tell you when I was opening up that page, I was like, huh? Because of course I know that car is so good. It was like totally a shock for me. It was really cool. Yeah, thank you, MT, for helping out Orbital with that. Sporty says there's a says there's an SDI HDMI converters that do dual way. Do you know which ones they are? And I see somebody has the Atomos converters, a bi-directional converter. Indeed, that is indeed what I would state as well. You guys are very fast today. Cool. Thanks a lot. Computer Jantje says, do you have a recommendation when it comes to HDMI splitters? No, I don't, Computer Jantje. I have to admit that I have a splitter. It was a brandless splitter, and it actually worked quite well. However, I am not 100% convinced it is the best one, to be honest. I'm very lucky, I would state. On the other hand, yeah, so there are other ways that you can do that with converters, like on top of converters, but I don't recommend that at all. I definitely need to figure out which one is better. But I again, I have a brandless. I paid about 50, 60 euros for it, and it's actually worked quite well. I kind of have a look in my storage unit and look at what the brand is for you, computer on chip, but I don't know that one by heart. It is the same car, and it's really funny indeed. Oh, that was that's no fun. What kind of text was that cajoling? Let me figure that out, because I don't want buy your dad a coffee for me. I will do that definitely. Thanks a lot again for your really nice setup. Thanks a lot. And a trailer, and somebody that will help me with the trailer, which is really cool. But that's going to be next year, not this year. Way too much expenses this year. Right. So we talked about the ATEM SDI. We talked about the converters. I did not talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the Yolobox that I have in front of me at the moment. So the way that the Yolobox is set up now, maybe I dare that I can show it to you like this. Oh, that's ugly. I'm not going to do it that way. Let me get Filmic Pro. I hope that I have it online. Filmic Pro. Let's see if I can make it so that you can actually see it. Oh, I don't know how that works yet. Okay, well, forgive me that you will see a lot of additional things now. Let me go into this one. No, I don't know. Let me check the audio quickly. If you can, yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I'm basically at my day-to-day job work center. So this is where I work. So I have this nice felt and a nice keyboard, this Logitech keyboard. Yes, vMix mouse mats. This is my work computer, which is quite filthy, I see, and two monitors. But that's not why we're here. We're talking about this setup right here. So here we have the Sony A6100 with, of course, a purple HDMI cable that goes into a Yolobox that is actually also having a nice purple, Takano purple Aaron Parecki box there, as you can see. And this is what I'm actually looking at, and this is where I can see your comments, and that's all held by this switch pot. And basically that's that. So this is literally the setup that I have. Oh, and of course the audio is right here, and the microphone is right there, and that is the next topic that I would like to talk about, and that is the DJI Mic. So that's where you're listening at. It's not perfect yet, but again, I think it has something to do with that it's near to the fans of the Yolobox. Again, it's 26.5 degrees Celsius here in my living room. I hope and I pray that my bedroom will be way lower than that, because typically I start to really sleep at 23.5, 24 degrees Celsius. If it's below that, I can sleep. If it's above that, I can't sleep that well. So I'm cooling my bedroom, but the air conditioning is in my studio and it makes a lot of noise. Hence, I'm in the living room today. Let me see what I have here. A lot of people have no worries. But again, I'm trying things out, cajoling technologies. So know that it's totally fine to give feedback, because hey, we're learning on the job. I spotted Jabra 750, great device. It's absolutely fantastic. I use it every single day. It's absolutely top notch. Already missing your streams. I have purple XLR short coiled cables. You lucky person, you. I actually have SDIs that are purple these days, so I have a few of them lying around here. I can actually get to one of them, but no, I'll just wait for later. It's the same color, so it's really cool. Carjolling says, is the audio input on the Yolobox mic or line level? I am actually pushing the audio that you hear to the camera, to the Sony a6100 camera, and from there via HDMI into the Yolobox, just to avoid any problems with delays. That's basically the reason why I'm doing that. But it might be that I need to do that a different way. So I'll try to maybe change this camera to the a6400 and see what happens then, because it might also be the camera indeed. Does the Yolobox work with Stream Deck? That's a very good question, and the reason why I'm saying it's a very good question is that they recently, today, had a very big update, and this is also the update that I've been waiting for, because my use cases for Yolobox are actually twofold for sure. One, mobile live streams when I'm not able to do it in my studio, like for example it's really hot, or I'm not at home, I'm on vacation and I want to be able to provide you a show anyway. This is a fully contained setup. I'm actually even using the built-in, well, I put it in actually, the SIM card that's put into the Yolobox as a means to transmit. I'm not using my Wi-Fi or network here. It's literally the 4G modem that you're looking at, so it's working like a charm. So that's the first use case. Sorry for that motor. The second use case is that I am actually also training people or having discussions during my day-to-day job. I work for a high-tech company in the Netherlands, and I very much occasionally, in like a few times a week, perform presentations or trainings to people, and I would love to give a little bit of an additional functionality so that it's nicer to look at, more interesting to look at, and that this is going to help. Moving back and check if I can find if it has a Stream Deck functionality. I doubt it, to be honest, but I know that they do see it as a very important thing. So what has changed today? And I'm reading it from this setup. Actually, I can show it to you. Boom. There you go. Can I also? No, I cannot increase it. That's a little bit of a bummer. Okay, but what it states is you can invite guests, which is great. Bring up to 5 guests into your broadcast. That's not possible on the Yolobox. You can bring in web URL overlays, and you can also have an enhanced side-by-side multi-view, which is great. You've got USB webcam, now supports the full program out, and that's exactly the thing that I wanted to have. Background music on a countdown timer, which is I think very good that they've added that. More social overlay templates. I've seen, yeah, we're using one of them, so indeed. Comments from Twitch and many more, and yeah, that's what they have. So I don't see Stream Deck here, but I do know that they are planning on opening it up a little bit for other purposes. Ah, it's a Pro, Sony preamp for sure. I run into the same issues. Oh, CRAP. Okay, then we need to figure something else out. Anyway, so that was that, and the last one that I wanted to talk about is that the DJI thing. I'm going to show you some pictures because it gets a little bit more, yeah, let's say dark over here at the moment. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, let's show it to you on this screen right here. So here you see the DJI Mic elevates your audio, and this is what it looks like. So there's a box with two transmitters and one receiver, and they're all very small. It's really, this is the size of it. It's literally nothing, and it works like, I think, like a charm, but indeed the ping noise that you hear, it's not coming out of the system. I can tell that for sure. And I really I'm liking it for now. It also comes with recording on the device itself. So if, for example, something happens and you need to fall back on a recording, you can do that with this device, which I think is really cool indeed. All right, so, oh, here we go. On the BitFocus page, not supported for Yolobox, which is a bit of a bummer. Anyway, that's all that I have in store for you today. I know it's a short one. Next week, there will be no show because of the fun fair, and I also believe that I want to take care of my dad for obvious reasons. Then I will be back for 2 times in a row to have some new videos and some new topics to talk about. At least one of those 2 will be about what will happen the next few months this year, so that you are a little bit aware of what you can achieve. I am almost at 2,000 subscriptions. So if you subscribers, sorry. If you would like to be a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Like the videos, make sure that people are aware of it, and let's go to the 2,000 subscribers. Almost there. A little bit more than 100, that's all. And indeed, very nice to end with. Namaste from India, namaste from the Netherlands. And I hope to see you next time. And I will say hi to, oops, my dad.